What I'm tying for you is my wee Loch Ba Muddler, the golden Hares Ear. We've got a 175 in a vise, size 10. Tend to only tie it with that hook, or I'll tie it on a double. I'm using 6/0 uni thread, black, because we're going to be spinning deer hair, so we need a stronger thread. Going to use some Partridge for the tail. So catch that in, 2 or 3 turns. And we want a medium gold or gold holographic tinsel for the rib. So we'll just tie that in, catch it back there, trim that off. Okay, go forward, tidy all that up. You notice how I've left the thread short of the eye. That's so I've got space to work with the muddler head. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to dub the body on, and I'm using Flash Brite from Flash. Don't think you can get it anymore, but it's basically Hares Ear mixed with gold angel hair. So if you want to make your own up, just do it by hand, don't use a machine, because the gold angel hair will catch the blades and just get caught. So you better just doing a little bit at a time, mixing it up. So I've dubbed that on a thread. I'm going to go forward. Okay, so we'll just go forward with that. We'll stop just where the thread's finished. The general rule of thumb with the rib is I just do 3 turns and tie that in. Now for the wing, I'm going to use gold marble flash. It's my own product. You could use freckle flash if you want. I just find this stuff easier to work with because freckle flash is a bit more limp, doesn't have the support on it. This is a supporting strand which makes it easier to work with. So what I'm going to do, if you watch carefully, is I've just wrapped it round the thread. Okay, just dampen it a little bit, makes it easier to work with. So wrap it round the thread, and you can see it sliding up and down the thread. Right, so we'll take it to the point of the hook where we want to tie it in, and we'll just tie some wraps in front of it. It's still not secure at this point. Right, it's only been tied in with 1 turn. This is when we need to put a few securing turns in there and then go back to the front. Don't worry about the step there because we're not going to be using that. We're going to be tying at the front section. Now to trim the wing, just hold it up and cut with your scissors down at an angle. What will happen is you'll get a nice shape to the wing. You can see all the colours, the light hitting off the flash. Right, so we've done that. So the next thing we need to do, just tidy that up a little bit more, and then we'll lay down 2 layers of thread for the muddler head. Okay, now I'm not using the coastal deer hair, which is a lot finer. I would use that if I'm tying a smaller one. I'm using the natural roe. So take the first bunch of deer hair. Don't have to worry about using a stacker or anything. Line it up. Basically this is like a hackle, so you want that to be the end of the deer hair. It dictates where you want to tie it in. So I've caught it with my left hand now, so I'm going to 1 turn, 2 turns. Now they're quite light turns, and then I'm going to pull tight and it'll spin. And then just push it back, right? So just push it back and tie in front of it and bind it down, right? So that's tied down. So we're going to get our next bunch. The 2 is sufficient for a fly this size. I'm just cleaning it off in the bin there. We're going to do the same again, catch it, 1, 2, and then pull tight and spin, and it'll just spin round. I'm just going to push that back, keep going, and tie in front. Okay, so I've got that in there. Then what we want to do is whip finish, holding the deer hair out of the way. Double whip finish because I'm not going to varnish this fly, but I always double whip finish anyway. For the sake of a couple of millimetres of thread, it gives you the extra security. Now for trimming, I'm holding the scissors in my right hand, but I'm using my left thumb just to steady me, because the last thing you want to do is go through and tie the fly, then make a backside of the trimming side of things and take a big chunk out of the fly. So you just want to trim it so it's getting wider as you go back. Right. It's up to you how big a head you want on it, or what kind of shape of head. Some people just like the muddler head with no sort of collar on it. I like it with a collar. So I'm just going to keep trimming. I'm just turning it as I'm working with it. It's a bit messy, deer hair, but makes for a great fly. And we're just going to keep working it. And we're almost there. I fish this fly on a top dropper, usually for the wild browns. Believe it or not, what I normally fish is a little bibbiel in the middle, and an Alexandria on the point. You'd be surprised at the amount of fish that chase this, then drop back and grab the Alexandria, especially on Loch Ba. There you go. Fantastic little muddler. Catches a lot of fish. And I do grease it up and fish it on a floating line. You know, you'll see them chasing it across the surface.